Hi, good morning. We're starting DAF Ayin, Amar Aleph. Start three words in. I don't know how much of an introduction you had on the Refuos, but was there a big introduction yesterday about it? A little bit? Okay, so then we'll just skip it. So continuing more with the Refuos. Lechazisa, for some sort of wart. Leisi Shev Tchiti Arzenisa. You bring 7 large fat pieces of wheat, kernels of wheat. V'neklinhu, and you roast them amra chadasa, on a new shovel. V'nafik mishcha minayu, the fat, the oil should come out of it. V'neishuf, and then you smear it on yourself on the wound. Have seen barashi avad leilahu avid kachavim. L'davar echad v'issi. Rav Huna Barashi did this refuah to a non-Jew, and he got healed. Omar Shmuel, Haiman demachulei be'aluchni de parsoi. This person that was stabbed with a Persian spear, where they used to put some sort of poison on it, so it should kill the person. Michi loichaya, he definitely will not live. Adahachi v'hachi, meanwhile, while he's on his deathbed, nisfulei bisr shmeina, you should feed him fat meat, agumuri, that was roasted, v'chamra chaya, and very strong wine. Efsher dechaya purta, maybe he will be able to survive a little bit. Umapkid abesa, and you'll have the ability to go back to his house and give his last will and testimony to his house. Omer of Idi bar Oven, Haiman de Bola Zibura, a person who swallowed a siro, which is like a hornet, Michya loichaya, he definitely will not live. Adahachi v'hachi, meanwhile, Nashki reviusa dechala shamzaga. He should drink a revius of strong vinegar. After the chaya porta, maybe he will be able to survive a little bit. Mafkid al-beis, and he will be able to instruct his family before he dies. Omer B'Shua ben Levi, Ochel basar shar belefes, if you ate the meat of a bull with a turnip, and you slept outside by the light of the moon on the night of the 14th or the 6th or the 15th, which is the full moon. But Tkuvas Tammuz, during the Tkuvas Tammuz, which is the summer months, he is afflicted by the sickness of achiloi. Tana, and somebody who fills up his stomach. He eats palace of good foods, sweet foods that taste good. He also is afflicted by this sickness. Omer Papa, afilu mitamri. Even if he's just eating dates, and he fills up his stomach constantly from dates, he will also be afflicted by this sickness. Says the Gemara Pshita, that's Pashit. We said in our Gemara that anyone that eats good tasting foods and fills himself up with that, he will have the sickness of achilai. Says the Gemara, Sakadai dechamina, Hoyol ve'omer Mar. Since Mar said, Tamri mazbian, dates fill you up, umishachnin, and they warm you up, umishalshin, they also release your bowels, so you have loose stomach. Umisharon, they strengthen a person. And they do not make a person an istinus. They don't make him always used to sweet tasting foods, and he will still be able to eat regular foods. Amolai, so we might thought that since these dates are of such good qualities and they have such good benefits to them, they will not make him sick with this achiloi. Kamash Milan, that those two, if he fills up his stomach with them, he will also be have this sickness. Ma'achiloi says, asking more, what is achiloi? Omer Rav Elazar, eish shalat samais. It's the fire of the bones. My eish shalat samais. What is eish shalat samais? Omer Abaya, eish garmi is bone fire, which is really just a translation of eish shalat samais. My asu say, what is the cure? Omer Abaya, Omer li'aim. My mother told me, kulu shak yonei tlasa v'shiva v'tresi. All of these sicknesses, all of these cures for the sicknesses, the dose either has to be for 3 days or 7 days or 12 days. V'hai, and this cure for this sickness, ad misti kule shakne. You have to take this cure for it until your person is completely cured. Sorry, ad misti, until he's completely cured. Kuli shakne, all cures, alibe rekne, are taken on an empty stomach. V'hai baser da'achol, and these ones are taken after he eats, v'shasi, and he drinks, v'ayala besakise, and he goes to the bathroom, v'nafik umashi yada, and he comes out and he washes his hands. That's when you take this cure. What is it? Umaisule buna dishasisa, the taflichi, he takes a fistful of, some sort of porridge that was made with lentil flour and salt, ubaina de chamra atika, and a fistful of old wine, v'nigblinu b'hadi adadi, and you mix them together, v'nechel, and you eat them, v'nichrich besadina, and you wrap yourself up in blankets to be able to be warm, v'nigbe, and then you go to sleep, v'leka de nukme adekoi minafshe, and nobody should wake him up until he wakes himself by himself. V'chikoi, and when he arouses, lishko l'sadina mine, take the blankets from him, because the sweat was absorbed into the blankets. He was sweating while he was wrapped up, and they take these blankets that have sweat in them. Because you don't take them away from him, the sweat, the sickness which was he was sweated out into the blankets will go back into him. Amar le Eliyahu l'Reb Nasan. Eliyahu Navi told Reb Nasan, Oichel shlish, you should eat a third, meaning you don't fill up your stomach completely. You eat a third of your ability in your stomach. Fill up your stomach with a third with food. V'shas shlish, drink a shlish, third with drink. V'nech shlish, and leave a third of, yeah.
Isn't that what Rambam says?
The Rambam say, Rambam probably gets from here if he says it. And
the Rambam says a third of your plate. A
third of your plate? Okay. V'nech shlish, and leave a third of your stomach empty. When a person would get angry, because when a person gets angry, the food expands and his stomach, and if he is upset when he has a full stomach, he will have no room for this food to expand in his stomach, and therefore his stomach might explode. So he should leave a third empty so that the food has ability to expand in that area when he gets upset. Tani Reb Chia, a person that does not want to come to intestinal sicknesses, he should be he should constantly and always have dipping of the summer and the winter, which is in vinegar and wines. Another thing is a suda that you are very benefiting, you enjoy very much, you see you're enjoying it so much, you should pull your hands away from it. Do not withhold yourself when a person has to relieve himself and go to the bathroom. He should not hold it in, he should go to the bathroom right away, because those things cause sicknesses. A person who drinks bad white wine, he is afflicted by the sicknesses of it's a weakness. There are 60 different kinds of wines. The best one, sumka richsona, the red, good-smelling wine. Greya dekulu, the worst kind, tilo chivra, is the white bad wine, which we said gives this person is the sickness of weakness. Omer Yehuda, Haima di Yosef Safrani de Nisan Gabinura. This person who sits in the mornings of Nisan, the month of Nisan, near the fire, V'shayif mishcha, and he anoints himself with oil, V'nafik, and then he goes out, V'yasif b'shimsha, and he sits in the sun, Achzasai vatik, he also will be afflicted with weaknesses. Taner Rabbanan, Heikiz dam v'shimish mitasai, somebody lets blood and then he has tashmish amita. Havin loy banam vatikin, he has weak children that are weak. Hikizu shneim, if both of them, the man and the woman, let blood, v'shimshu, and then they have rishamish mitasan. Havin the banam bali rasan, they will have children who are extremely weak and are prone to weaknesses. Omer Papa, lo yamara, and this halacha that we said, that if a person lets blood and is mishamish mitasai, will have weak children, is elo deloy ta'im midi, if he doesn't eat anything between letting the blood and having tashmish. Avol ta'im midi, but if he eats something less than ba, then there's no problem. Omer Rabba bar Rav Huna, ba min aderech, if somebody comes from the road, he just finished traveling, and it's talking about when he was walking, not if he was necessarily in a car. V'shimish mitasai, and he is tashush amita. Having leibanim vatikin, he also have weak children. Taner Rabbanan, Habami Beis HaKisei, someone that finished relieving himself, comes in the washroom. Al Yishamish Mitasei Ad Shisha Shir Chetzi Mil. He should not be Meshamish his Mita until he waits the shear of a Chetzi Mil, which is 9 minutes. Because there is some sort of shade in the Beis HaKisei that attaches himself to a person when he leaves, and if he is Meshamish while that shade is still attached to him, it will make problems in the Vlad. Malava Imai comes with him. And he is Meshamish Mitasei, having like Banav Nichten. He will have children that are prone to, I think it has seizures, epilepsy. So you shouldn't do that. Taner Rabbanan. Hameshamish Mitasei Mu'umad, someone who's Meshamish Mitasei when he's standing. Achzasei Ivis, he gets cramps. Miyushav, if he does it while he's sitting. Achzasei Delaria, he is afflicted by his delaria. He Milamayla Vahu Milamata, if he is on she is on top and he is on bottom. Achzasei Delaria, he will also be afflicted by his delaria. Now, it's actually interesting. All these gemaras we had, they're talking about tashmish. These are all refuahs gemaras. We're in the middle of the refuahs gemaras, because you look in Siman Reish Mem, which deals with the halachas of tashmish. There are first the halachas which deal with the halachas of tashmish, what's mutter and what's aser. Then there are starts by Sif Yudalit and Tezvav, which the Sifim talks about the refuahs, which are not healthy to do, not healthy ways. And these halachas are brought in. The halachas are not healthy to do, not in the halachas, because these are not halachas. These are health issues that people will be afflicted by these sicknesses. And it's actually interesting. The Shulchan Aruch does not differentiate when he brings down being letting blood. Obviously, we're not doing it nowadays, unless past week. But letting blood of being mishamish. But he does not differentiate between eating something and not eating anything. And the Mishnah doesn't speak about it either. And he also does not bring this halacha of Beis HaKisei. The Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it. The Mishnah Berurah brings it. The BAYT brings it. And they bring it. The Zayir also brought it down. Not Mishamish Mitasei. Shraga does bring it down about not waiting at least 9 minutes between going to the bathroom. Mishamish Mitasei. Says the Gemara. My delaria. What is delaria? Means what is the cure for delaria? Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Sam delaria, the refuah, the medicine for delaria, derara is dardara. My dardara. What is dardara? Amar Rabbi Merika de chivri de chaychi. The saffron that grows along the thorn bushes along the edge. Rav Papa would chew it ubala and he would spit it and he would swallow it. Rav Papi olas v'shadile. Rav Papi would chew it and spit it out. So it seems exactly what you did with the saffron. If you had to swallow it or spit it out, I guess both of them would work. Omer Abaya, Misha baki b'derech eretz. Someone who is weak and does not have the ability to mishamish mitase properly. Leisi gimel kapizi kortemi de chaychi. He should bring 3 kapizi are vessels that hold revius, hold a revius. Rashi says revius, and it means a revius of a hin, which is really a lug. Usually a revius means revius halug, which our kiddush cups are revius halug. But a revius is a lug. If we have 4 times the size of a kiddush cup, it's a lug, which is also a revius. It's a quarter of a hin. So we're talking about 3 kapizi so it's roughly 9 times the size of a kiddush cup needs to be, right? Because we're doing 3 kapizi. Oh no, sorry, I made a mistake. Kiddush cup times 4 times 3 is 12. Right? 12 times the size of the you need for Kiddush cup. Kapizi kortemi de chaychi. We should bring, now, the way Rashi explains it, and they changed the girsa really, but it means saffron that is growing in a field that was fertilized by sheep manure. That's the saffron that you need to help you for this. Now what you do, v'nidaiknu, you should grind it up, v'nishkelinu, and cook it, b'chamra, with wine. V'nishti, and drink it. And that will give a person the koyach. These are the things that returned me to my youth. I had the ability, I was very weak, and as a result of this refuah, he had the ability to go back to his youth. Says the Gemara, there are 3 things that make a person lose his koyach. These are the things: pachad, fear; derech, traveling; v'ovain, and sin. Pachad d'ksiv. How do we know that fear makes a person lose his koyach? So as the pasuk says, libi libi sacharchar azavani koyach. My heart was consumed, and the koyach left me. Derech, traveling. How do we know that? Ksiv, Ono b'derech koichi. My strength was left me on the derech. Avain sin ksiv koshel ba'avaini koichi. My koyach was stumbled as a result of my avainis. Says the Gemara, Shleisha Dvarim Matizin Gufish Ladam. There are three things that destroy the body of a person. Ve'elohein, these are them. Ochom umad, if you eat while you're standing. V'shasam umad, if you drink while you're standing. V'shimish mitasam umad, and if you have tashish mita when a person's standing. Chamisha, there are 5 things krevin lemisa yosim nechayim that make a person closer to death than being alive. Ve'elohein. Ochal v'amad, if he ate and then he immediately afterwards stands up. Shasa v'amad, and if he drinks and immediately stands up. Heikis dam v'amad, if he lets blood and he immediately stands up. Yashin v'amad, he sleeps and he stands up. Shimish mitasi v'amad, and if he directly stands up after tashmish. Now the Maril actually says that the shear, how long do you have to wait? At least he explains it for as far as eating and drinking. The shear for the bracha achrayna. So it would depend on what you eat, how much the bracha achrayna would have to be. If you ate something which is a shakal, you just need a shur, burn nefashis. If you ate one of the shivas aminim, you would have to make al michyo or al peris. If you washed, you have to shear that you need to bench. That would be the shear you would require for each thing. The other ones, I didn't see a shear of how long you have to wait.
Depends on pizza. You wash your own.
Shisha Oisan Miyad Meis. There are 6 things that a person does them, and the Gemara is going to say if you have to do all 6 of them, a person will immediately die. Ve'elohein Haba b'derech, someone who comes from the traveling, v'nisiagei, and he's tired. Then v'hikis dam, he lets blood. V'nichas l'beis hamerchatz, he goes into the bathhouse. V'shasa v'nishtaker, he drinks and he gets drunk. V'yashin, he goes to sleep. V'yashin agabi karka, and he sleeps on the ground. V'shimish mitasei, and he's meshamish mitasei. So if you do all those 6, you'll immediately die. You have to do them in the order as the Gemara just said. If you change the order, a person won't necessarily die. If a person does them in the order, he will die. He will only become very weak if he does it out of order. Ask the Gemara, is that so? Avda Leila Avda. Ma'uris was the name of a woman who did this thing to her servant. Tulasa Minayu, she did only 3 of them. Umeis, and he died immediately. As the Gemara, Hahu Kachushu, he was a very weak person. So therefore, only a very strong person and a healthy person, if he does all 6, he will die. But it could be, a person's not fully healthy, he may do only part of them, and he will also die. Says the Gemara, Shmoina Rubon Kashe Umiyaton Yafa. There are 8 things that if you have a lot of them, it's not good. But if you have a little bit of them, it's very good. Ve'elohein, these are them. Derech, traveling. V'derech eretz, and tashmish. Oisher, wealth. Umalacha, work. Yayin, drink, wine. V'shina, and sleeping. Chamin, and drinking warm drinks and taking warm baths. V'kaz dam, letting dam. Those are 8 things. Shmoina there are 8 things that lessens a person's zera. He doesn't have so much zera. Ve'elohein. Hamelach, salt. V'ara, fasting. V'nesek, tsaras. B'chia, crying. V'shina, agabe karka, sleeping on the ground. V'gudgudais, coriander. V'koshus, shloi bizmana, hops, if they're made with hops that are not bizmana, not in the right season. V'kozas dam lamata, kiflaim, and letting blood lower. Then, as the Gemara is going to say, lower than your bayim. It says that because of all those 8 things lessen your zera. Tana kashim shekash lamata kiflaim. Just as it's doubly as bad to let blood lower than your waist. Kach yafa lamayla kiflaim. So too it is good kiflaim is doubly as good to do it higher than that. Amar Papa. Lamata min habayim. What's considered lamata is lower than the bayim. Lamayla min habayim is higher than your bayim. That's considered lamayla. The kashus shlei bizmana. What's hops not in its season? Tana kashem shekashu shlei bizmana kach yafa bizmana. Just as eating it shlei bizmana is not good, if you're eating it when it is the right season, then it is good. Amir Papa zmana tammuz. The season is tammuz, which is the summer. Shlei bizmana Tavis. The not bismanis Tavis is the winter. Yomi Nisan v'Yomi Tishrei, the middle, the fall and spring, what's that? Lo ma'aliv lo kashu. They don't affect and they don't benefit anything, they're parav. Now we're finished mostly the Gemara of our voice, and we're going back to our Mishnah. So our Mishnah said that a person wrote a get for a person instructed somebody to write a get for his his wife, and he became crazy, he had kudaikus, and then he says, don't write a get. So the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, "Ein b'dvar sh'acharim klum." His last words don't mean anything. Says the Gemara, Amar. He's just repeating the Mishnah. Kus v'gala ishti v'achzu kudaikus. He was afflicted by kudaikus. V'chazav Amar al tichtavu ein dvar b'acharim klum. His last words are nothing. Amar Rav Shimon Lakish. Rav Lakish says, "Kaisvin v'naisen." Even after he said this, you are allowed to write it and give it while he is sick. Nice and get louder immediately while he's still sick. We only give it once he heals himself with the cure prescribed. My time in Reish Lakish. What's the reasoning of Reish Lakish? Diktani ein b'dvar hacharim klum. His last words are useless. They're nothing. So therefore, since we don't have to deal with them, so we can give the get right away, right when, even though he said, don't give the get. Rabbi Yechon says, what does it mean? There's nothing in his last words. Once he gets healed, we're not required to ask him again if he still wants to give the get, because his original command is in effect. You don't write the get until he actually gets healed. But what are they arguing about? Reish Lakish compares this person who has kudaikus to someone who's sleeping. And someone who's sleeping, you could give a get while he's sleeping. Rabbi Yechon compares it to a person who's crazy, who's went insane. Rabbi Yechon says the Gemara, Rabbi Yechon, who does not allow you to give the get until after he gets healed, should also compare it to someone who's sleeping. Why does he compare it to someone who's a shaita? Says the Gemara, Yashin loy mechusar ma'isa. He's not missing any action he has to do. All he needs to do is wake up. That's not an action. Hi mechusar ma'isa. This person is required to go through a healing process. He has some sort of medication he's required to take. So it's different than someone who's sleeping. Reish Lakish should also compare it to a shaita. Why does Reish Lakish compare it to somebody who's sleeping? Shaita, says the Gemara, shaita loy samya biyadan. A shaita does not have the cure available to him. Hi, sami biyadan. But this person, the cure is available. He's just required to take bisra sumka, is the lean meat. Agumeri was roasted v'chamra marka, and a weak wine, and then he will be healed. So therefore, he's not compared to someone who's a shaita. He's more comparable to someone who's sleeping. As the Gemara, Rabbi say that if we see a person is not in his right mind, you're not allowed to give a get while he's in that stage, at least. If you have a person who his simanim, his esophagus and his windpipe are sliced, either both fully or roi of them are sliced, which is a person who will definitely die. V'ramas, and he makes a siman, and he tells a person, v'amar kisu get lishni, and he tells a person to write a get for his wife. You are allowed to write the get and give it. Vitanya, we learned another brayso. If you see a person who is chopped up into pieces, or he's on the area that they're going to execute him, V'ramaz, and he's already started the execution. V'ramaz v'omer kisu get lishni, and he says to write a get for his wife. You're allowed to write the get and give it. So you see that somebody who definitely at this point, yes, he has the ability to command somebody to give a get, but in a couple of minutes he will not be able to. He will be completely. He will still be alive, but he won't have the ability anymore. Either machmas fear, or because he's almost on his deathbed, he will not have the ability anymore to instruct anybody. He not have a clear mind. So you see that even though someone he originally instructs somebody when he had a clear mind, and later on his mind becomes unclear, you still are allowed to give the get. So how come Rabbi Yochanan did not allow you to give the get at this point when the person has achsa kudaikus? Says the Gemara, Hachi Hashta, is that case comparable? Hasam daitat tlusa. In those cases where a person is dying, his mind is clear. He's just very weak. so he can't speak anymore, he can't command anymore because he's weak, because he's about to die. His das is crazy. He's not in his right mind. He's not fully operating with his mind. He can't command anybody. Says the Gemara. Did Shmuel say this? Shmuel says, if a person had his two of simanim sliced, ubarach, and then he ran away, you could say edus on him that this person has definitely died. If we say that he's considered alive, because we're saying that you're allowed to give a get when a person that had his windpipe and esophagus sliced. So how could you say edus on him and let his wife get married as a result, based on this edus? He is alive right now, and he's going to be alive at least for the next couple of minutes, but he will definitely eventually die. So you could say edus after a certain amount of time that his wife is allowed to be married, but you can still give a get shortly after you see this. It says the Gemara, if you say that he will definitely die as someone that has this wound to his neck, that he has his esophagus windpipe sliced, you should have to go to Gullus for him. It's considered a killing, meaning we only go to Gullus when somebody does a damage to somebody or a wound, inflict something on somebody that he will definitely die from. So if this wound, someone will definitely die, then somebody who does this to another person should also be required to go to Gullus if he did it b'shaygig. Allah Matanya, why do we learn a brayso? Shacha b'shnayim or shnayim, that if someone sliced a person's neck and the Rosh Hashanah or both of them, he's not required to go to Gullus, because we cannot assume that the death was as a direct result of this thing that he did to him. Says the Gemara, we're afraid that maybe it wasn't necessarily completely as a result of this wound that this person did, but there was some sort of wind that also added to his sickness and made him die. Inami, in other things, who kirvas misasai, he may have made his death closer by jumping around too much, and that made him die. I mean, that wasn't directly because of this wound that he put on him, but he also jumped around. What is the difference between these two teruts in the Gemara? The difference is the shachet bebesa de shaisha upirchas. He shechted him in a marble house which had there's no wind coming. There's no wind in that place, and he jumped around there. Or he shechted him outside and he did not jump around. We could be afraid that maybe the wind added to his death. Says the Gemara continues with our Mishnah. He didn't have the ability to speak anymore, and we asked him, should we write a get for your wife? And he nodded, and he nodded the affirmative. Says the Gemara, maybe we should be concerned that he had some sort of twitch that he was constantly not saying no. So how could you assume that when he's nodding and he's saying no or yes, that he's actually answering the question? Maybe he's actually just saying no, he has a twitch that's doing it. Maybe he has a twitch that he constantly nods yes. So why could you assume that he's answering properly? We asked him opposites. Yes, no, yes, no. Says the Gemara, maybe we should be concerned that he has the opposite twitch constantly. First yes, then no. Now, of course, I don't know if this is such a real case that you would think that he really has, but the question is, can we 100% say that this man is nodding the affirmative to divorce his wife? I mean, we're asking him, do you want to divorce your wife? He nods yes. Can you infer from there that he's completely sure that he wants to? He has no ability to say no, he can't go back, he has no ability to speak. So we cannot assume that he's definitely saying anything 100% sure if he's nodding. How could you assume from a nod? A nod is a nice thing, but we can't assume 100%. Says the Gemara, we ask him two no questions and one yes, and one no and then two yeses, and then two no's and one yes. We asked him the opposite, so we can't assume that we switched the order so much. We can't assume that that's something that would have been an involuntary twitch that he would have done. The Rabbi Shmuel says, what will we ask him? When we ask him questions that pertain to the summer and the winter, and questions that pertain to the winter in the summer. What are those things that we would ask him? We asked him if he wants to have a thick blanket in the summer or a thin blanket in the winter. We asked him that, so we could see that he's understanding the question, he's answering properly. Maybe in the summer he's a little bit cold, he's obviously not so well. Maybe he's cold, or he has a fever in the winter, he's very, very cold, very hot in the winter, he wants a thick blanket. Why is that Aryai? Says the more we ask him about the seasons, about the fruits that are available. Rashi explains that we ask him if he wants those fruits that are not available. Taisa says that that's not such a, you can't really check him out from that, because maybe he really wants it. He says we ask him if we want him to pick the fruits off the tree outside, and if we see that he realizes what season it is and what fruits would grow on the tree at that point, we could assume that he understands the question and he's answering properly. Okay.